Today is the 6th September 2025. New York Times. In Tariff Standoff with Trump, China boycotts American soybeans. China has rare earth metals. The United States and Brazil have soybeans. For all the chokeholds, China may turn on global supply chains. It is overwhelmingly dependent on soybeans from other parts of the world. China imports 3/5 of all the soybeans traded on international markets. Now, with China and the United States locking in a tense standoff over tariffs, soybeans have emerged as a central dispute between the trading partners. China has been boycotting purchase of U.S. soybeans since late May to show displeasure with President Trump's imposition of tariffs on imports from China. The pain is being felt, and in my West state, especially Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, and Indiana. For the first time in many years, American farmers are preparing to harvest their crops this fall with no purchase order from China. The further into the autumn we get without reaching an agreement with China on soybeans, the worse the impact will be on U.S. soybean farmers. The American Soybean Association warned in a letter to Mr. Trump on August 19. But China also faced risks in the standoff. Brazil, which was harvesting its crop earlier next year, is the only other country with enough soybeans to meet Chinese demand and enough trains and port capacity to move these soybeans to China. I think they could probably go without American soybeans this autumn, but if Brazil has some drought or floods that affects their crops next year, it would put China in a difficult position, said Jan Francis, the managing director of Citonia Consulting, a research firm specializing in Chinese agriculture. In China, a record soybean crop is expected this year, and farmers like Zhouping are thriving. With demand strong, prices are rising, and this summer brought an almost perfect balance of sunshine and rain. This year's is the best soybean crop I have been seeing in years, he said, standing at the edge of his dark green field of thigh-high plants. Yet, even with likely harvest of 21 million tons this year, China will need to import another 100 to 105 million tons. China's immense need for imported soybeans enough year to fill the Superdome in New Orleans, more than 30 times reflects shift towards protein-rich diets as living standards have soared over the past 30 years. China now dries vast numbers of pigs and chickens. China imports genetically modified soybeans to feed these animals. Genetic modification are almost completely banned in China, and the soybeans grown in China are mainly used for human consumption, notably in tofu and soya milk. Before Mr. Trump's first trade war with Beijing in 2018, China bought a quarter to a third of the American crop. China has since tried to develop alternatives, but only Brazil has really managed to increase some supplies significantly to the Chinese market. China bought 71% of its soybeans imports last year from Brazil, where near perfect weather led to a record crop. The United States supplied 21% of China's total imported soybeans last year. The crop is nonetheless the largest remaining export from the United States to China. Beijing has systematically replaced imports of farm equipment and other advanced manufactured goods from the United States through a program, Made in China 2025, intended to boost the country's self-reliance. China has made a concerted effort to grow more soya beans, deploying extensive government subsidies. Despite this year's successful harvest, the results of that effort have been mixed. The country's main growers are in Heilongjiang province in northeastern China next to Russia's Siberia, but they have been slow to increase output. The government pays farmers in much of Heilongjiang a subsidy equivalent to about $17 an acre to grow corn and about $300 to grow soybeans. Yet in villages near Harbin, the province capital, and near Hebei, on the Amur River border with Russia, most fields are still covered with the corn. Farmers who planted soya said their neighbors were reluctant to switch crops. The rule of thumb in Heilongjiang is that corn sells for half as much per ton as soybeans, but an acre of farmland planted with corn typically produces 3 times as much as food, so farmers can earn more money from corn than for soybeans, even when the subsidies are factored. Heilongjiang, like most rural China, has a severe labor shortage. As young people leave for cities, they earn soaring wages in the country's factories, which are also short of labor but pay much more than farming. Corn is easy to grow because it's less hassle. Soybeans require more care and maintenance, and if they are not managed properly, they become weed-ridden, said Jia Yinhai, a farmer in Dawu City, a village near Heihe. During the first Trump administration, when Beijing briefly halted purchase of American soybeans, many people thought Russia could help China reduce its dependency on American imports. Some Chinese businesses already operate soybean farmers across the Amur River in Siberia, but their efforts to expand have run into trouble. For one, the Chinese rail line that runs south from the Russian border at Heihe charges higher freight rates than China's national system, said Zhou Rui, the general manager of the Heihe Beifeng Yuandong Agriculture Development Company, a Heihe enterprise with soybean farms in Russia. The company has soybean crushing mills in Heihe that squeeze out soybean oil used in cooking and leave behind soybean meal used as animal feed. Charles sent Heihe Beifeng's high-value soybean oil south, but the company has found it hard to persuade Big Kitchen and Picturing companies 1,500 miles away in central China to buy its soybean meal, said Mr. Zhou, who is not related to the farmer with the same family name. To make matters worse, Russia changed its soybean policies after invading Ukraine in 2022. Russia introduced a tax of roughly 20% on exports of uncrushed soybeans. The tax discourages farmers from sending their crops to China. Russia's rail system is also providing free shipment of soybean meal to livestock farms in western Russia, which supply meat to its soldiers at the front line. This is another incentive for soybean growth in Russia's Siberia to be moved west, not south, into China. Last year, Russia's soybean export to China fell by half and made up only 1.6% of China's total soybean imports. Overall, China sells 3 to 4 times more in goods to the United States than it buys, an imbalance that President Trump is trying to address. I hope China will quickly quadruple its soybean orders, he wrote on social media last month. China may yet have another Trump card as its junkie with the United States over soybeans. However, strategic stockpilers of soybeans to use during war, agricultural disaster, and other crises. While the precise size of the stockpiles is a state secret, the U.S. government recently estimated that Beijing may hold 45 million tons of soybeans, or 2 years' worth of imports from the United States. Less clear, however, is how much of that emergency reverse China is willing to tap for a trade war. Thank you for today's listening. Have a good life. Enjoy.